But it's important to check yourself. And I'm just like, at that point, I'm just like, this is dragging. Like, I am dragging this task for 4 days every night, just browsing. Do you want to stay grounded, less triggered, less annoyed, and mindful throughout your wedding process? Well, then, welcome. You've come to the right place. Hi, lovelies. Welcome back to our channel, and I'm super excited to introduce to you a brand new series, The Little Book of Mindful Wedding Planning, Ebook Walkthrough. I have linked the ebook in the description below where you can grab your own copy. In this series, we'll explore and dive deep into each chapter. So, if you're getting married or is close to someone who is getting married, or is just altogether into mindfulness, then this series is for you. Join us every Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays as we journey through the little book of mindful wedding planning, chapter by chapter. Before we get on this week's chapter, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you can never miss an episode. Together, we'll create moments of mindfulness amidst the demands of wedding planning. Hello, lovelies! Yes, we made it to chapter 8, and today we're going to talk about the wedding details. Let me read on. It's so easy to say, don't get caught up in the details. But we understand that a wedding is mostly all about the details. So yes, I get that you want the right shade of pink and the correct length for those menus on the tables. Do you want more dressing on the salad you're serving? Who doesn't? We get it. We hear you. We see you. Now, how do we manage that without getting overwhelmed and stressed? We can narrow down choices to the top 5, then the top 3, then choose the right one. Think about beauty pageants. They have to put together the top 5, then the question and answer, then the top 3, then the Miss Universe is announced, crowned, and off the winner goes fulfilling duties. Put a decision process in place with your partner. Remember when we mentioned earlier in chapter 1? What's your North Star? Use those to help you make decisions more efficiently. Know when the detail is already done and file it away. When you keep circling back to it, it will leave you with a feeling of unfinished business, when really, you've already checked it off your list. This is like the combination of the previous episodes, but this is just good to relate it to specifically about wedding details. If you have a lot of choices, decluttering your Pinterest board, your wedding binder, whatever the case may be, whatever organization system you're using, similar to the previous episode again, just make sure that you understand and you've set a decision-making system process with your partner. Okay, this is our top 5. We go back to previous chapters. What is your North Star? Top 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Which one in here is really aligning? Which ones? Maybe narrowing it down to top 3. Which ones are the ones that align with your North Star? Which ones are the ones that is gonna fit our mindful budget, the mindful budget that you've said earlier? And which ones here actually makes more sense to us in terms of our style, our personalities, and what our bigger vision is without sacrificing what's important to us. So these are similar decision-making questions, process that you want to sit down with your partner with. Create like a questionnaire or just a basic guide. And if you followed us from chapter 1 up to here, you probably have that system going on for you by now, because you've already said, okay, this is my North Star. This is how I can mindful budget. This is how I can declutter. This is who I can have involved in my wedding process. At this point in time, chapter 8, episode 8, you've already established those. So this is just us reminding you that going through your top 5 and not overwhelming yourself with like top 20 photographers in my area. I mean, that's good if you really want to browse, but I've always said this, there's decision fatigue. You want to find the best one for you, the best match. Of course, who doesn't? you can start from the bottom and then you can go up. You know, started from the bottom, now we're here. Started from the bottom, now my whole team here. Understand what your bottom is. So you have like a top 10, set your start from the bottom of that top 10 up to here, which is maybe top 5. From top 5, you filter more. Maybe that's a time that you do consultations, do meetings, ask the questions, check out their vibe, see if they're the people that you want to be working with on your wedding day. And then after top 5, we're at top 3. More question and answers. Maybe at this time, you look at payment terms. Maybe you look at delivery. Like, when do they give you the photos? Is it faster for this vendor? Maybe one of the vendors can add a videography service for much lesser than booking it from a different vendor. So these are the options that you want to look at from your top 3. And at this point, really, the next part is your top 1, which is obviously the vendor that you're going to book. I think another great example is The Voice, where you're not really judging them based on how they look like, but you're judging them based on the service that they've shown. Portfolio, you haven't even seen who they are. You haven't even known who they are, but you've seen their portfolio. You know what? I like this. You press the button, say yes to this. Your chair turns around and be just like, yeah, this vendor I like. And then as a coach, say for example, you're one of the voice coaches, you then create a group of all the people that you've chosen, that you've pressed the button on. Now you're at your top 10 again, say for example. And now at this time, you get to know them, you huddle them, right? You talk to them, you see how they are, which ones are the strengths that you wanted to hone into, which ones are the ones that you really want to sing this specific song. If you're going to do a duet, I don't know if you've seen The Voice, but people sing together with their coaches, and the coaches help them, and the coaches kind of help showcase who their pick is, like what the talent of that person that they picked is. Because there are a lot of moving parts and wedding details, literally the size of the menu, what type of linen, do you want a runner, do you want candles, do you want open flame, do you want flameless? There are a lot of details that you need to go through. So having a system, an efficient filtering system, if anything, use this episode as a reminder that because there are so many wedding details, having a set process in the way you decide with your partner, or again, with the people that you have allowed to be involved in your wedding planning process, is gonna make the process so much more efficient. You don't have to have decision fatigue. You don't have to be stressed. Like, you are very clear that these are my guidelines. If something does not fit here, that's not for us. That's why you have top 5 and top 3. That way it's fair for you, because of course you want to see options, right? Options. Of course you want to shop around. Who doesn't want to shop around? And I'm sure I'm not the only person that does this. I will sit on my phone all night. Say I would need like a coat. The last thing that I bought was a coat, right? It's almost winter here. Well, it's almost fall. And so I bought a coat. I ordered online, but it took me like 5 days, because you know what? I was going to buy it online, but I was already there. I'm just like, well, maybe I need some sweaters while I'm here. Maybe I need some long sleeves. But at that point, I'm like, what is this really? Like, I don't need sweaters. Good to have, great, but I really need sweaters. I'm sitting here with a task that is undone because I'm thinking that maybe I need a sweater, but I don't need a sweater. That's not even on my list. So now I'm sitting on a task for a whole week. I would say maybe 4 days at best, but still, I already knew exactly the style that I want. I already knew exactly where I'm going to get it from, but I can't make a decision. And so I'm just like, you know what? I just need a coat. That's all. I need a beige coat. I know where to find it. I know where it is. I know how much. That's all I need. I can't even use free shipping as an excuse, because of the price is already free shipping. There really is no other excuse aside from the fact that I can't decide, because I feel like I'm going to miss out on all the other things that are also there. Maybe that sweater will look good on me. Maybe those boots. Maybe those pants. Maybe I need extra long sleeves. All these things start coming up, and I'm just like, Maria, listen, you need a coat. That's what you're going to order. You're going to order it, add to cart, enter your shipping address, enter your payment information, call it a day. And you know what? That's exactly what I did. And sometimes that happens to me. It happens to me still. But it's important to check yourself. And I'm just like, at that point, I'm just like, this is dragging. Like, I am dragging this task for 4 days, every night, just browsing. Do I enjoy it? Did I enjoy it? Yeah, I enjoyed shopping online. But I felt like at that time, I knew that I had to work out. I knew that I had to prep for things for the next day. I could have done better things than just sitting there and browsing for things that I probably not even buying. Like, I probably didn't have any intention of buying, but I just wanted to fulfill that need in my head that maybe I need something else. Maybe this is a better idea, that if I buy this with this, maybe it's a better idea. Not all of them are wrong, but I've already spent 4 days. I should have realized it on the second day that, yeah, I have enough sweaters. Even if I need a sweater, I can just order it again. There's no time limit on anything. Even if I were to save 20% off on that day, if I buy that sweater, that's still a full day that I've spent. And I would think about it. It's like, if I am going to give myself value for my day, if I were, say, for example, just generic, if I'm going to give myself $100 an hour as me paying myself doing the wedding things, the things that I want to do, it means that if I spent an hour and there's no output, I've already lost 100. Perception. This is how I'm perceiving my time and how I value my time. If I've spent an hour doing this and nothing came out of it, I enjoyed it for sure. That 1 hour of enjoyment, 100 was worth it. But the second time, the third time, the fourth time, I'm already losing time and money, and I haven't decided on anything yet. Like, I don't have an actual result. You can enjoy for 1 day. Again, I love to browse, but set the limit on how long you're going to browse. Set a limit on how long you are going to shop around. Like, how many options do you really need? Maybe I'll go to 2 different websites. Maybe I'll go check out 3 different vendors. But honestly, I have to decide. I have to really flip the page and move on, because I know exactly what I want. Researching, looking for things. Now, it's different if I don't know where to find it. That's a different scenario. But at this point, you're already at top 5. That means you've already done your research. You've already spoken to people. You've already probably asked around. You've already vetted some people at this point. You're already at top 5, right? The auditions are done. I don't know who else goes on auditions, but the auditions are done. Now you're at the final 5. So this is now your top pick. Most of them have already fit whatever standard you've set. They've already met some of those standards. Probably most of them. So now it's a matter of going deeper and feeling the vibe and just listening to your gut. And now is a time for you to decide, who is it among this top 5 that can really bring my vision to life and that really gets me? Like, who gets me? It's important that you work with people and you book people that gets you. Oh my God. If you had to explain yourself 10, even 5 times to someone, and you know what, 5 times I understand, because that's already collaborating. And like, this is what I feel as a bride, as a person getting married. And the vendor would tell you, well, this is how I feel as a professional. This is probably something we have to look into. And at that point, that's no longer making someone get you. That is now the point of collaboration. Now you're collaborating, and that's great. But if you have to explain yourself for the first time, 5 times, 6 times to a vendor, it's most likely that they don't get you. And so I don't think they deserve top 5. So we're going to have to say bye-bye and go on to the next one until you get to top 3. And that's actually how you get to top 3, by eliminating people that just don't get it. You just don't feel that you vibe. You just don't feel that in your heart. Your gut is telling you, it's great money, we're saving this, but I don't think they're going to be able to execute our vision the way that we want to. I don't think they get us. I don't trust them enough to figure it out. And really, your gut and your trust is also important. If you're working with a wedding planner, they will also just show you and refer you to vendors that they've already vetted. They've already vetted these vendors. They already know them from a long time ago. They've already worked with them. Even at that point, you still have to vet yourself. Even if referrals from other professionals, you still have to do the vetting yourself, because it's your gut, it's your instincts. You can only take so much professional advice. But in the end, you're still going to have to trust your instincts. And that starts with the process that you've set with your partner on how to decide, because you deserve the best. And that's a wrap for today's episode of the Little Book of Mindful Wedding Planning series. Your comments, questions, and support mean the world to us. And I can't wait to hear from you in the comments section below. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that notification bell so you can never miss an episode. If you found today's episode valuable, please give it a thumbs up so it can reach more people. Thank you so much, lovelies. See you on the next episode. Bye!